He was a terrifying boar of natural disaster. But once he was. But it's a petite and weak gray spotted demon pig. Because I don't want to see my master trapped in the mountains and forests. Chose to sacrifice his body to the mountains and forests to help his master get out of trouble. Perhaps this loyalty touched the heavens. Let him accidentally devour the mountains and forests. Wang evolved into Wang Ji pre-sale. Although the natural disaster boar was promoted to Wang Ji, gained great strength. But also because of the size of the body. Make your movements stiff and slow. It can't be the same as it was at the beginning. You can be by your side at all times. He always asks Gao Peng, when will I be able to go out with everyone? I'm scared that I'm getting bigger. I will never have the opportunity to reunite with you again. And Gao Peng swore to him, we'll definitely find a way to make him smaller. And we'll accompany each other to the end of life. Now he has successfully signed a contract with Frostjisher. The evil spirit came out of his mouth. There is a way to make Aben smaller in size. There is a camouflage fruit in Hafeng Mountain. Can reduce the size of monsters by a minimum of 1,000 times. But when you enter combat status, it will be invalid. And there is a black-haired sparrow guarding the fruit. Although the world of Black Fog is in crisis, royal monsters are even more common. But Gao Peng. In any case, I have to go to the Black Phoenix Mountains. Because he promised Aven to take him on an expedition. At this time, Su Heti returned to the barren labyrinth knife. Nantian has received the message. The logistics staff will follow up one after another. I brought all the ice fruits I could bring in. The technician wagged his tail as he looked at the crates of frost fruits, but still arrogantly said, he actually used this kind of low-grade food to worship this priest. I'm telling you, I wouldn't eat a bite even if I starved to death. After hearing this, Gao Peng asked Ah Chun to put the fruit up. Go explore the rest of the maze first. Seeing this, the doctor froze in place. Moments later, four armed pickup trucks drove into the deserted labyrinth. Only one of them looked at the sky. I can't help but sigh that this place is simply a miracle. We were the first to be here. All the treasures in this belong to us. As soon as the words fell, the ground beneath his feet was fierce. The leader of the labyrinth overseer roared at the crowd. I've run so far. Are you going to kill me completely? Please spread the power of the shadows of the fury between classes. Seeing this, everyone present immediately turned on the factor inflation. But it can't resist the erosion of the power of shadows. At this time, a black man with a navel orange bird presale came forward to meet the front. The overseer saw this. A flash of ferocity flashed in his eyes for a few seconds. Give me death. Instant explosion. Unleash the giant axe with all your might to split the presale in half. Meanwhile, Gao Peng fed the sacrificial chamber of frost fruit. Why didn't the overseers attack you back then? The worshipper replied that I was outside the labyrinth at the time. A ban is set. If they sense the icy aura that erupts in the bed, definitely blow them up into ice cubes. Gao Peng was a little curious. Then why didn't you attack me at that time? The technician casually said that because you were human. While speaking, suddenly there was a fierce battle in front. The technician saw this. Can't wait to say. Let's hurry up and pick up the bargain. My favorite thing to do is to pick up the bargain. Walk out of the maze exit. And he saw the overseer who had fled before. Fighting with Gashi. Gao Peng immediately ordered to save people. Xiao Huang turned into an afterimage and rushed out. Just as the overseer slashed at the man with his great axe, Xiao Huang jumped forward. A heavy punch hit the overseer's face, which is quite ruthless. Just let you run. This time it's up to you where you run. Gao Peng looked at the black man with some shock. Is this your native here? The technician said indifferently, of course not. They are from the same world as you. The smell is exactly the same. Momentarily stunned. Think it's impossible. The entrance to this side of the maze is tightly sealed. The average person can't get in and out at all. Not to mention a group of black technicians with distinctly distinctive characteristics. Onyan has a plain look, then there is only another possibility. The spatial rift between the world of Black Fog and your world. It's not just the barren labyrinth. Gao Peng's expression moved slightly after listening. Could it be the rift in the space of Lucasa in Africa? Before the change, Africa was trillions away from China. After the change, the new volume becomes larger. The distance between the two places in a straight line is at least tens of thousands of kilometers. But in the rift of space, the two places are not too far apart. Maybe through the cracks. To build a trade castle. Thereupon, Gao Peng hurriedly greeted the black brothers cordially. Are you hurt? Then the black man said hello to Gao Peng again and again before parting. If you have the chance, must come to Lucasa. Treat each other absolutely. But when the blacks go away, Gao Peng's eyes instantly became gloomy. According to the black brothers, it is 1,000 kilometers west of the barren labyrinth. There is a ruin of the city, and the rift in time and space in the ruins. You can get to Lucasa. When the time comes, inform the Explorers Guild to come. Developers are another huge sum of money. After that, he took dumb with them. Go to Black Phoenix Mountain to obtain the disguise fruit. How strong can a duck be when it becomes enough in the middle too? Facing the Lord-level powerhouse by Gangfeng. Even if the beast is covered in many places, the flesh and blood that have been cut are blurred. There was no trace of pain on his face. It's just because he firmly believes in his heart that everything can't kill me will make me stronger. Just now, Gao Peng set off to the Black Phoenix mountain range. Look for the camouflage fruit. But the technician only knows that the fruit is produced here. It's not clear exactly where it grows. I saw Gao Peng smile and it was fine. There will be well-meaning natives who will tell us. There are some differences between technicians. Where did the indigenous people come from? At this time, a golden Silk Road turtleback is dominant. The technician couldn't help but sigh that this guy was so miserable. Gao Peng then asked the children cordially, "Don't worry. We have no ill will. Do you know where there is a camouflage fruit? It's a kind of white fruit with many small black spots on the skin. And the eldest son acts as a translator on the side. But now the train of thought is indifferent. Retract your head into the shell." Seeing this, Xiao Huang went up to a big fight. "You should be looking for death. My boss asked you." The technician on the side was speechless. "I wonder if I'm going to join the villains team." Gao Peng immediately stepped forward and persuaded you well, and you heard it. "My little brother has always been so hot-tempered. So I'm sorry for you to think about it again." After a brief silence, there was a cooing sound from the turtle's shell. The eldest son then translated Gao Peng. Gao Peng. He said he had seen this kind of dog on the edge of the cave in the Black Phoenix mountain range. Climb over 5 mountains to find Huayin Road. Gao Peng and the technician immediately jumped on the turtle shell. "I'll just say that the owner in the mountains is warmly praised. Then take us to the mountains to the east." A moment later, the Golden Silk Road turtle stopped in front of a forest. A grunt sound came out of his mouth. The eldest son then translated him. "It is said that the fruit is in the mountains. There were fierce monsters in the mountains, and he didn't dare to go in. So Gao Peng asked Xiaoyan to go to the sky to see. Look around." Xiaoyan immediately spread her wings and flew high. The search began around the mountains. That's when he noticed a pure white bug. "I smell the smell of a lord on it." Unexpectedly, the white bug suddenly turned its head and found that it was urinating. Immediately put a white fruit in your mouth. Please have a white bug in the middle of class, and the volume of the white bug has skyrocketed several times in an instant. At this time, Xiaoyan noticed the big tree behind him. The white is covered with small black dots the size of a needle. Fully eligible. But the white bug suddenly broke through the mountain pass. He roared at Xiaoyan in the air. Xiaoyan had no choice but to hurry. Fly to Gao Peng's side, and the fruit is on the mountain. But there are lords and monsters guarding it. Gao Peng was discovered through the system. Monster name, White Steelblade. Monster level, level 49 monster quality, perfect quality. Monster trait, Wind Monkey armor is congenitally short in stature. Therefore, he is particularly sensitive to the reason for his height. There are some differences. I'm very sensitive to my height, but it looks like it's at least 7 or 8 meters tall. In this way, they are actually sensitive to their height. So what about our big characters? Then he immediately commanded the big characters. Unleash lightning to attack yellow. This monster is definitely not to be messed with. But I am bound to get the fruit of disguise. This is my commitment to Abin. Please bounce the little yellow epidermal muscles wildly between classes. The volume began to grow slowly, and the size of the white steel peak tough beast is getting smaller and smaller, turned into a stream of shadows towards Xiao Yin. I hate that all crowns taller than me are not much worse. A series of rich high-speed ejections completely block Xiaoyan, all areas that can be avoided. Seeing this, Xiao Yin instantly shed the living words on the surface of her body, turns into a flaming feather shield to protect against wind and heat. Unexpectedly, Yuduan was instantly attacked. A furious shockwave knocks Yin away. Seeing this, Gao Peng hurriedly asked Adan Xiaohuang to help. Then, the technician said indifferently, "This guy is very explosive. I've seen this monster with my own eyes. Kill monsters of the same level in one move." After hearing this, Gao Peng immediately instructed Xiaohuang Xiaoyan. "Remember to protect the key to the big one. You and Apet go to save Xiaoyan. I'm going to meet the bugs." The words fell, and Xiaohuang jumped up. Go west towards Shiraoka Peak. Shiraoka Peak is an instantaneous relic. The wind cross slashes Yellow's chest. Seeing this, the soul flame in Dump's eyes exploded. Wanted to go over and help. Was stopped by Xiao Huang lying on the ground with a wave of his hand. I saw Xiao Huang erupt in a violent, democratic atmosphere. Nothing that kills me will make me become more powerful. Come on, little man. Let me once again feel the pain of death for myself. Bai Dangfeng Rinshou was annoyed and silent after hearing this. Dare to scold me for being a dwarf. In a flash, Baigang Peak let the beast turn into a beam of light and fly out. Instantly shreds the muscles on the little yellow calf. Just as he was complacent about his swift attack. I never thought that Xiao Huang would still be in the same place. Pain just like that only makes me stronger. Dum was speechless when he saw this scene. How is this duck getting more and more middle too? And Shira Akamine endured a premonition that something bad was going to happen. It seems that a quick solution will have to be made. This guy looks weird. The next moment, the body suddenly disappeared in place. Unleash the most powerful moves. The wind is blowing. The empty crusher instantly left countless wounds on Xiao Huang's body. But the scene in front of him shocked him. I saw that Xiao Huang's volume had swelled to 15 meters. His eyes were filled with endless anger. It's like death has struck. He was a terrifying boar of natural disaster, with a height of more than 6,000 meters. Intimidating for many powerful pre-sales. But now the size has shrunk to 60 meters. Just now, Xiao Huang should lose the strongest killing move of the White Blade Ren beast. He was cut in multiple places all over his body. Allows passive skills to stack on countless layers. The size of the body skyrocketed to 15 meters in an instant. Like a demonic giant. I saw a fierce light flashing in Xiao Huang's eyes. Very good, very good. That's how it feels. Keep using your rights to kill me. Bai Gangfeng let the beast Wanyan burst out. I actually want to die. Then I will fulfill you. At this time, Xiao Huang's eyes locked on him. The remnants of the youth continued to disintegrate under his eyes. The stitch screen keeps flashing. Eventually, it broke down into a clear figure. Huang saw the timing and threw a quick punch. Successfully held the white steel blade in his hand. Authorized to squeeze hard. Drops of blood from the fingers of the palms. Desperately pouring out. Ended up with a dwarf. It seems that I won in the end. Gao Peng breathed a sigh of relief when he saw this. If it's not for Xiao Huang. Several layers of passives were activated before the battle. I'm afraid of the first attack. Can make Xiao Huang directly lose his combat effectiveness. Xiao Hua went and replied to him. The petals of the small flowers on the enro all fall off. Turned into a ball of light and flew towards Xiao Huang. The square ball landed on Xiao Huang's body and quickly melted. The wounds on his body began to heal gradually, and Xiao Hua looked at her bare top. 2 lines of tears couldn't stop flowing, I'm so ugly now. At this moment, a leaf gently covered his head. I saw a smile on Dum's face, which looked good. Xiaohua's cheeks instantly flushed. His eyes were full of emotion. Gao Peng then looked at the disguised Dr. Tree overhead. There are only 4 fruits. If you don't take the tree with you, you will feel a bit of a loss. So I asked Dum to dig up the tree and take it away. Then he looked at the beast with a smile on his face. Now that the trees are gone, then I'll take you with you, fellow. The next day, Gao Peng returned to the small shop where Aben was. The scene in front of him made the beast of Beigangfeng fearful. Is this the devil? Gao Peng was indifferent. I didn't lie to you. At first, Aben was shorter than you. Bai Dongfeng's voice trembled a little. You really didn't lie to me. Gao Peng smiled indifferently. Don't worry. I think you have a lot of potential. It can be a little difficult for you to grow that tall. But it's not hard to grow this skull this big. As he spoke, he kicked the eldest son behind. The eldest son looked confused. Whether you are sick. These words made by Gangfeng endure the inner entanglement. Although I was beaten by this man's pre-sale. And he should. There may be ways to make me bigger. But stabbing you directly won't it look like I'm a good deceit. Then there was a sizzling sound in his mouth. The big word was then translated, and he agreed. But he said it didn't make him bigger. Even if you sign a contract, they won't listen to your commands. Gao Peng nodded slightly. No problem. Then he took out the disguised fruit Aben. Haven't you always wanted to go on an adventure with us? If you eat this, you will be able to shrink in size. Aben was a little hesitant, but Gao Peng, if I get smaller, isn't it just not going to protect you? Gao Peng's own comfort and rest assured. It's okay. But after the fruit is eaten, you can't just fight other monsters. Otherwise, it will be invalid. Aben nodded repeatedly. I never fight. Xiao Yin then threw the camouflage fruit into Aben's mouth. Aben's size instantly became 60 meters. Gao Peng let out a long sigh of relief when he saw this. It's still very high, though. But at least you can barely take it out. The orange tree isn't dead yet. Then he turned his head to look at the group of cuties. Now the pre-sale team lineup has taken shape. The shortcomings of being able to fight, carry, and resist assassins have also been filled. Then, Ji Hanwu suddenly came here. This formation is quite good. I'm here to send you some equipment. Gao Peng has some differences. Why is this axe so familiar? Ji Hanwu explained indifferently. It's the overseer you brought back. An axe on the arm. I look pretty good. Just let the lab be dismantled and modified. Huang then picked up the axe and swung it twice. Then he asked the White Dragon sect seriously. The old Dragon King has no more focus. Gao Peng's face darkened. You show me 2 less episodes of Journey to the West. Xiao Huang pouted after listening. Honestly carry the 2 giant axes behind his shoulders. After that, what Gao Peng will see and hear in the labyrinth. Tell Grandpa. Both Cambrian was a little surprised. There is a direct access to Lucasa. Does anyone else know about this? Gao Peng smiled indifferently at the black man I saved. Probably true. On their side were the local high-ranking officials. On the other side is the top management of the dark security company. I've made an agreement with them. When the time comes, business cooperation will be carried out. Following Cambrian, he was very pleased with this. You don't have to worry about it. Something to do with peace of mind. Gao Peng nodded slightly. I'm going to go to Saint Gerang. Dumb advances. Mythical quality materials are left with dead souls. The most likely place to be born is there. And Saint Gerang is the hand of Huang Magua. On the way, you will pass through Jinsha district. The headquarters of the Platinum Head is located here. Stop by to visit an old friend. Following Cambrian did not persuade. Just a personal reminder to pay attention to safety. The equipment and supplies are ready to be placed in Ajuna. He was a terrible frost slippery, but now it has shrunk into a cute little white lion. But what made Gao Peng completely doubt his life was that he was able to break through to the Spirit Master level just by taking a bath. Just now, Gao Peng set off for the holy wild cold city. Find the soul of the dead heart that Dum needs to advance to the next level. In this operation Aben was also involved. At this time, When Bao Rat pointed to the boss in front of him, "There are treasures under the peaks in front." Gao Peng immediately checked the map, and that side was Mount Everest. "Just drop by. Adam, let's go over there first." A moment later, a deep blue pool comes into view. A chill spread from the pool to all sides. The technician's eyes lit up instantly, and the water was of great use to me. Wait a minute. Discovered through the system. The name of the pool is the water of the Gao, a liquid that contains a large amount of the power of ice. It is extremely aggressive. Gao Peng has some differences, and the Tao described by the system is mysterious. But isn't that just a pool of ice water? This can also be considered a treasure. At this point, the technician plunged headlong into the pool. When he surfaced, successfully advanced to the Lord level, Gao Peng was shocked, and this special breakthrough occurred. It's not so outrageous. Looked at the Han gallbladder condensation that had not been absorbed. Gao Peng was a little curious why he didn't continue to absorb it. The technician replied indifferently to me after breaking through the Lord. "This water doesn't do much for me. Unless found. The power of ice." The richer water also had an effect on me. But Gao Peng was a little puzzled why he was promoted to the Lord. "You're still so small." The technician's calm answer was superficial. "Concentrate is the essence." Then Gao Peng looked at the Tianju Peak in the distance. "I couldn't help but sigh in my heart. Carry so many lords and jade hands with you. And there is also Wang Jizabai. The world is so big that you can go." His eyes became icy. "My old friend Platinum Hand. We'll see you again soon." After a long day of trekking, Gao Peng arrived in the golden desert of Jinsha district. But what puzzled him was, the map clearly shows that there is a town nearby. As far as the eye can see, there is a desert. At this moment, a white house suddenly appeared in front of me. Xiaoyan hurriedly reminded the owner that there was a house in front of her. Gao Peng was overjoyed to see this. Finally someone drowned. Then he brought all the jade beasts to the door. I saw a group of clothed monkeys fleeing in a hurry. He seemed to be frightened by Abin's breath. The system immediately pops up. Monster name, White Spot Shaper Monkey. Monster quality Putori. There are some differences. Someone is raising these monkeys. So he politely knocked on the door 3 times. Ask if anyone is home. After a while, there was an old voice in the room, and no one was there. Gao Peng immediately said loudly, "It turned out that there was no one in the house." "Thanks for the reminder." After a few seconds, there was another voice in the room. "No thanks." In a fit of rage, the white steel instantly swung its twin blades. Cut the iron gate to pieces. Gao Peng Lunghong said that he was a normal person. How could such a stupid thing be said? It turned out to be you stupid monkey. Inside the room sat a white-haired monkey. Fat and lean physique. It gives an extremely oily feeling. At this time, the white-haired fat monkey suddenly got up and rummaged for something. Bai Gang then asked him what he was doing. Gao Peng replied indifferently, as if he was looking for something. Didn't seem to ask us. But it also has to be protected. With excuses. And the room smells very wrong. Subsequently, the white-haired fat monkey had a harmless expression on his face. Serve Gao Peng a bowl of extremely weird fame. But Gao Peng has no soul. Slowly walked to the room behind him. Guests come to the house. How can you hide the good stuff? Seeing this, the white-haired meat monkey had a fierce glint in his eyes. Instantly flashed behind Gao Peng. Burst out with all his might, swinging sharp claws. This is the white steel newspaper flying out. A long wound is cut on the body of the white-haired fat monkey. And Gao Peng. But he was frightened by the black pot in the kitchen. I saw a thick soup boiling in the pot. One finger looked extremely abrupt. Gao Peng asked the white-haired fat monkey in a calm tone. You like to eat the kind of stuff in the pot? The white-haired fat monkey's face instantly became extremely controversial. You eat us. We will eat you. He ate my son, and I'm going to eat him. Gao Peng nodded slightly when he heard this. I have no position to accuse you. That would be too hypocritical. But I'm human after all. And I saw it today too. Then I can't sit idly by. Then he strode to the white steel outside the door. Give him a treat. The white steel immediately put out the house and drove. Many have sinned against him. It's a terrifying glow. But now he was recognized by Gang Feng and killed instantly. Even showed an extremely disdainful expression. Just now, Gao Peng came to the headquarters of the Platinum Hand in Jinsha district. It is bound to hurt Aben in the first place, and endangering the people of the state city to take revenge. Then he indifferently ordered Dumb. Let's get started. Dumb erupted in a fierce soul flame. Hold the heart of the blood demon with your hands. You are mad, sleeping dead, and in a room. For people make a comeback around a piece of sheepskin. Desert Wings hasn't been taken yet? I've had enough of the scenes that repeat every day. When? Exactly. To subdue that damn monster. Calm down. According to the news I just got, after half a year of hard work, the attitude of the Desert Wings has loosened. This time he was going to come and have a look. The blue-robed old man frowned at something. The golden-robed youth chuckled. See if there is a suitable jade. Maybe he'll come and decide on jade today. The blue-robed old man heard Long Heng's words and said something from a monster. You can do it too. At this moment, a white-robed pawn broke into the room. Report to the bishop. Corpses buried in the ground around the town. Resurrected those who were attacking us. Meanwhile, a sea-bone desert dragon soar over the town of Jinsha. Seeing this, the Platinum Hand below fled in all directions. I saw a bright lord light shining around Dumb. Wang Messy fights for your honor. Horses ask for countless recesses. Wang Ling crawled out of the depths of the desert. The desert terror valley roars in the sky. The murderous aura of ferociousness is outwardly evil. At this moment, a long, crisp bell sounded on the array. A rich blue shadow turned into a raging wind. Crash into the desert Titan Valley. Bang! The two knives collided with each other and made a shocking sound. Stop the desert from gathering scriptures. The ancient blue beast reveals its true form. Monster name, Lonling Sibi Water Source. Monster level 44 monster ability enhancement spirit post. Master the water elemental and bursts of power. Gao Peng looked at the army of the undead below. My heart was shocked. I didn't expect there to be so many things near the town. It's just dumb ability. It completely left the Platinum Hand headquarters in a hurry. At this moment, there was a violent whistling sound overhead. A dark shadow scurried towards him. Rows and rows of data pop up again. Monster name, Phantom Light Reverse Disc. Monster level, level 42 monster quality, perfect quality. Monster characteristics, Phantom Light Lin E. Gao Peng suddenly realized. It turned out that the illusion had clouded our senses. Can make Xiaoyin unaware of them. This illusion ability is indeed very strong. This is a flash of white steel blue light lying at Gao Peng's feet. Disappear in an instant. In a flash, two blue streamers run through the radiant silver wing stacking area, accompanied by the white steel tissue gently landing and shining. Silverwing's body split in an instant. Bai Gang showed an extremely disdainful expression. I can still play 10 platinum hands. Seeing this scene, a cold sweat broke out. The silver cloth sect master's radiant silver wing disc was actually killed in seconds. The cardinal's face suddenly changed to danger. Come back quickly, but the earth dragon is unexpected. When Fuxing Dilong just wanted to retreat, the tail suddenly condensed into patches of frost. I saw the power of ice burst out in the shaman's eyes. This kind of small role also requires me to do it. It is to kill chickens and use cattle slaughtering knives to dissolve in luo. An ice cage appears out of thin air in the desert. It's boring to get an ice cage to trap him. Seeing this, the native dragon spewed out a large amount of black liquid. Corrosion melts the icicles in front of you. Gao Peng immediately squinted at the technician and said nicely, "You've been corroded by the earth dragon in 3 or 2 clicks." The technician snorted coldly. I hate the desert environment. The ice element in the air is too thin. I saw that the technician raised his hand slightly to prey on the earth dragon. Instantly covered in ice. Even if you struggle, you can't break the ice. Subsequently, Gao Peng looked at the 4 walls of water in Lanling not far away. The Earth Dragon has also been solved. Now he was the only one left. Listen only to the sound of broken bones. The skull of the undead was crushed violently. Immediately afterwards, the arms of the 4 walls of the Lanling water wheel suddenly returned. Tear off the undead skull. As he kept pounding his chest with his 4 arms. When you look up to the sky and roar. Dumb suddenly appeared beside the undead stream. Retract the undead flame from its body. Death is the destination of all the living. He was originally a terrifying Lanling 4-armed. Headwaters. Now he was killed instantly by the sea bone tyrant. Just now, Lanling's 4 arms and water sources waved their arms suddenly. Tear off the suffocating head of the undead. At this time, Dumb quietly came to the side of the stream of the dead. Retract the undead flame from its body. Death is the destination of all the living. In Luoadai. A palm slammed into the chest of the 4-armed water source. And you don't have the slightest reverence for the king. Just listen to the boom. The chest of the 4-armed water source instantly sunken. The body flies backwards uncontrollably. The 4-armed water source who fell to the ground just wanted to get up and fight back. Unexpectedly, the heart suddenly contracted inward. I saw a dark red flame condensed in Aiden's hand, and Sibi Shueyuan clutched his chest, trembling all over. In an instant, his head turned into a torch. It is especially noticeable in the dark. Gao Peng smiled when he saw this. Unexpectedly, he combined fire and gore into a new skill. Control at the same time. It can also fully unleash the power of a fire. This is the 4 walls of water source sword powerless to return to the sky. Burst all of your elemental powers. The raging water washed away Dumb like a razor. Seeing this, Bai Gang asked the boss softly, "Do you want to help the big brother?" The technician on Gao Peng's shoulder suddenly. Speak uninformed. This water elemental hugging looked at the formation was large. But it can also give the bones of the stupid big brother. Wash off some dust from your head. Bai Gang snorted. I don't have the same knowledge as anyone younger than me. At this time, Adon exuded a fierce soul aura all over his body. The coccyx rolled through the chest of the 4-arm water wheel in an instant. Gao Peng Jianjian immediately ordered Xiao Yan. You continue to stare in the sky. Don't let anyone else escape. Meanwhile, golden-clothed Bishop Chun Sheng said let's go. There is also an authentic. Let's let these people hold on for us for a while. But the next moment the footsteps suddenly stopped. Ask them what this means. I saw the blue cardinal and the cardinal. At the same time, he pulled out his gun and pointed it at him. Our presale has suffered heavy casualties. Only your presale is intact. Hurry up and get your presale to stall for time. Then we leave through the tunnel. The cardinal followed suit. That's right. Your Lord Presale can't go with us. Otherwise, no one would want to leave today. Bishop Scripture's words reveal a touch of sound. Looks like you don't trust me anymore. The beams above his head collapsed. A golden light fell on everyone like a waterfall. The 2 bishops immediately deployed their elemental shield defenses. But it was instantly wiped out by the golden light. At this time, the right hand of the physician bishop was raised. A blanket covered in eerie patterns appeared in front of him. I wanted you to retire with dignity. There will be no less money beauties. Now you are dying in peace. I will definitely carry it forward with the hand of platinum. The next second, the golden flying carpet was like a python. Entangled the blue cardinal. The cardinal was about to beg for mercy. Unexpectedly, the golden flying carpet suddenly twisted violently. Lu Raoxing stopped abruptly in an instant. Then the cardinal looked at the cardinal indifferently. You go and die, too. But when the golden flying carpet struck forward, the cardinal's figure suddenly vanished. The cardinal saw some differences. This old thing actually has a backhand. At this time, the cardinal suddenly appeared in the desert. His face was full of horror. Luckily, I've been hiding my strength. The last means of defense were not revealed. Tree roots and icicles suddenly appeared around him on Huayin Road. Immediately afterwards, The body was instantly frozen by the ice cage. Gao Peng was very speechless. Why did this guy still fall into the net? A moment later, Adon carried a tattered bucket of golden rags. Throw a man covered in blood on the ground, master. The people who tried to escape were caught by me. This is his jade hand. The cardinal broke out in a cold sweat when he saw this. I didn't expect Xuana's platinum hand for a while. It was destroyed by a young man. This is Gao Peng's in different words. These two men are already prisoners. It's too much trouble to carry. It's better to kill it directly. When the cardinal heard this, he hurriedly begged for mercy. I know where the platinum hand treasure is buried. There are also some locations to go out to the base. I can tell you all. Just one command for you. I'm one of your dogs. I beg your excellency to spare my life. Gao Peng listened to the fortunate ones. It's kind of an attraction to listen to. I'll give you a freeze first. Let's talk. At this time, Abin's voice suddenly sounded in his head. The owner has an inadequate monster who is being examined. There are some differences. Abin is the existence of Wang Ji. Spirits in general. In his eyes, it's almost like a small shrimp. Now it's actually said that it is coming, because it doesn't fall far away. A behemoth beast suddenly appeared. The brother's eyes were fixed on the high robe. He was a terrifying pig killer, but now he was killed instantly by a fart of Abin. However, Abin thought that his roommate had bitten him by a mosquito. Just now, Gao Peng inadvertently took the cardinal captive. It's a behemoth emerging from the horizon. It exudes an extremely violent royal gathering atmosphere. Rows of data pop up instantly. Monster name, Warcraft in the Sea of Sand. Monster level, level 52. Monster quality, perfect quality. Monster trait, meaning of the desert. The League of Cardinals reminds adults to be careful. It's a royal monster. Our platinum heads build their towns here. It is to bless us with the presence of the desert wings. Gao Penguinian nodded slightly. Recesses, please. Abin swept through the wild sand and suddenly appeared. The air around it seemed to become viscous. Gao Peng looked coldly at the sea pig-killing demonic beast. Abin will meet him. The cardinal was shocked when he saw this. This is definitely Wang Ji. I didn't expect him to have a Wang Jiu hand. It turns out that this is his whole card. But the kid doesn't look very old. Maybe my mind is uncertain, as long as I lower my attitude. It also shows the use value. When they started fighting, I looked for an opportunity to escape. Gao Peng suddenly asked him in a deep voice, "Where is the treasure of your platinum heads?" The cardinal hurriedly replied, "Wait a minute, my lord. Let me think about it." Gao Peng then asked, "Do you know how to subdue Eye of the Desert?" The cardinal heard. He sneered in his heart, and he actually wanted to subdue the Eye of the Desert. If you get another King Extreme Jade Beast, that's fine. I'm afraid that no one in the human world can be cured. So he lied that he didn't know how to take it. At this time, Gao Peng's expression became indifferent, and he didn't say anything. I don't know. Then you're not much use. Dumb held the cardinal tightly. The cardinal panicked instantly. I remembered where the treasure was. Gao Peng longhong for a lifetime. As the head of a terrorist organization, I thought it was pitiful. Release some news that I don't know if it's true or not. Will allow me to spare your wicked life. There was a sound of bones shattering. The cardinal lost his breath of life on the spot. Then Gao Peng pointed to the frozen leaning dragon. Said Abin gave you a small snack. At this time, the sea-pillar demonic beast roared angrily, and it was very good. How dare you ignore me, human? I'm warning you. You managed to get my attention. Gao Peng was speechless when he saw this. You monster is sick. How to speak to reason and give anger. The Sansi Pillar Demon Beast Wanyan was furious. You are sick. You are not welcome here. Get out of the desert right now. Gao Peng turned and walked towards Abin. We will not leave the desert today. I happen to be tired of walking. I'm going to sleep in this town for the night today. The Sansi Pillar Demonic Beast was furious when he heard this. The power of killing the elements bursts out with rage all over his body to find death. No one has ever dared to refuse me. Gao Peng's disdainful affection when he saw this was really verbose. I don't know, bad breath. The tone is still very big. The little lion took him out. Treat said. The icicles of the roots of the trees shoot at the sand and sea pillars and the monsters. While the sand sea pillar monster dodged. The heart is very different. It's actually an ice elemental attack. I clearly feel this human being. A pre-sale with the breath of the king. It's like I'm fighting with the strongest pre-sale. It was a deliberate attempt to test my weaknesses. It seems that he must be caught and asked. Then his eyes were fixed on the huge Abin. Let's start with the big one. Almost killed the sea and wished the demonic beast to leap. Jumping on Abin's back erupts with power. A punch was slammed out. At this time, Abin was attacked. The camouflage fruit effect dissipates instantly. The body begins to grow in size. Did a mosquito bite me just now? Seeing this, the sand sea pillar demonic beast felt a trace of uneasiness in his heart. How did it suddenly conjure up a big mountain? It's not good to be too high from the sand. The desert also gives fewer and fewer blessings. As the words fell, Abin's cute eyes stared at him. Found mosquitoes. The sand sea pillar demon beast was shocked. How did this earth spider become so big? At this time, there was a strong excitement under his feet. Hospitality room. A hot volcanic mud erupted on Abin's back. Fly the sand sea pillar monster to an altitude of 10,000 meters. Abin gave him a look of great disdain. I hate mosquitoes. Gao Peng saw this. I can't help but sigh that this guy actually dares to make a move on Abin. How lonely it is to be invincible. Then he looked at the golden silk magic carpet in Adam's hand. The waist got in the way and left. Let's move on to the captives. This blanket is a lord-level monster. I'd love to do some research. At this time, the shaman asked indifferently, do you want to subdue this monster? Don't look at the appearance of this grimace mushroom. It looks extremely obscene. But was taken by a group of pure and kind people. Just now, Abin farted. Kill the sea pillar monster in an instant. Gao Peng then looked at the captured golden silk demon. I didn't expect him to be a lord-level monster. I want to do some research. This is the technician said indifferently. Do you want to subdue this monster? Gao Peng shook his head slightly. I didn't want to subdue him. Just wanted to look into it. If the ability is good and there is no owner, I can give it to my subordinates. But this is already a pre-sale with a master. The technician Wanyan casually said, what if there is a master? This flesh is not impossible to dissolve. Gao Peng was stunned for a moment. I didn't expect the blood to be lifted. The technician explained indifferently. As long as there is a spell to dispel the flesh, as well as under the condition that both the imperial history and the pre-sale are voluntary, can be lifted. But it must be willingly. If you use charm, attacks such as control or illusions, it cannot be effective. Gao Peng was a little shocked after hearing this, so it was good to get together and disperse. Perhaps this is the best interpretation of flesh. If this method spreads, it's too dangerous for the center of the earth, which has only been mutated for a few years. It seems that I have to contact my grandfather to bring them back first, then hand it to the frost fruit. If you can succeed, give this blanket to Huangya. I thank you for Huangya first. The next day, he took Abin to the Yellow Desert District. A group of strategists followed closely behind them. Abin was upset by this. I hate having a bunch of bugs chasing after me. Gao Peng looked at the tablet and smiled indifferently. It's okay. We're the equivalent of opening the road for free. If they can really follow all the way, that's what they're capable of too. And also close to the target location. On the tablet is a statue of a black humanoid. It is a temple once established by the Holy Light cult. The system suddenly pops up a message. Monster name. Sufferer is invalidated. Monster level. More than 40 monster quality. Elite quality. Monster attribute. Dark. At this time, when Baorat suddenly got up, the two front paws hang over the chest. Cover your chest. The boss has a baby. I'm fast now. Fainted. Gao Peng immediately showed the eyes of a wealth fan. This expression seems to be a good baby. Aban quickly turned around, and took the direction that Uncle pointed out. A moment later, a flame grimace mushroom came into view. The system describes materials that are rich in fire-based nutrients. Contains trace amounts of fire poison. Gao Peng was a little speechless, and he was doing this thing for a long time. There are also green centipedes guarding it. Then he was suddenly amazed and said what kind of treasure this was. It looks familiar. Could it be that we planted it at home? Dazien agreed with his face. This is our family. Xiao Huang believed it after hearing it. Since it's something from our home, then let me get it back. Ah Chun gave me an axe wife. Visible. The tree's green centipede opened its fangs and struck it yellow. Seeing this, Xiao Huang snorted coldly and let out a small delay. Ridiculously ridiculous. As soon as the words were angry, Xiao Huang held a huge banner and suddenly draped it away. Turned the green centipedes into roaring ghosts. Then he handed the flame grimace mushroom to Gao Peng. The eldest son asked curiously what kind of treasure this was. Gao Peng explained softly that this was a good thing. When the swallow purifies and eats. 5 days later, Gao Peng took Dum, and they arrived at Huangma to go to the temple. At this time, 2 businesses suddenly appeared in front of them. Gao Peng smiled indifferently and came very quickly. And behold, there stood the victim in front of him. Failure is like refinement to break through the Lord level. Beside him are several birch trees. Rows of data suddenly appeared. Monster name, Birch Dryad. Monster level 35. Monsters are strong and drive away monsters. Gao Peng immediately ordered Xiao Yan. These dryads will be handed over to you. White steel when to kill the statue. Words and music. Xiao Yan's mouth spewed monstrous flames. Burn the birch demon to the fullest. And the white steel is an invisible ripple slash, leaving a deep wound on the waist of the stone statue of the victim. Gao Peng saw some differences. He still looks hard when he is hurt like this. Ordinary lords will even be killed instantly. Can't be underestimated as a hero in the world. I saw the stone statue of the victim with a fierce face. A rich black light spreads from under your feet to all directions. The victim is condemned to a dark hell. Don't look at this sea-bone storm. June looks cute and cute. But now the breath of death burst out of his body. Evolve into the undead scourge, sea-bone master. Just now, Gao Peng came to the Holy Light Sect Temple in Huangma District. Find the dead heart needed for Dump's evolution. Intercepted by the stone statue of the victim and the birch dryad. I have never enjoyed the stone statue of the opponent, even if my waist is cut off. The expression is still resolute. A rich black light spread from beneath his feet. When the black tentacles touch the charred birch dryad, the exposed trunk gradually blackens. The level of the birch dryad suddenly increases by 1, and gain fire resistance. Gao Peng was a little surprised to see this. I didn't expect this stone statue to have the ability to temporarily strengthen. Immediately ordered Xiao Yan to retreat. Changed to big purple. Dazi smiled before leaving. Master Lei Gong taught me 2 tricks. Watch me give him the whole big recess. Dazi is the king of the storm. The terrifying thunder staggered answers. The birch demon on the ground. They were bathed in thunder. Gao Peng was very relieved to see this. Knock out limbs in an instant. The others also suffered injuries of varying severity, small and long. Then, Bai Gang suddenly found that his monk had a black spot. I can't get it off. Gao Peng explained indifferently. This is a sign of being corrupted by the forces of darkness. Just kill the statue, and it will disappear. The white steel casts a storm of endless 3,000 slashes. Wind blades like rainstorms continue to grow on the stone statues, until the stone statue was cut to pieces. The chopping machine was able to stop. Gao Peng was very distressed when he saw this. You tap it. Gene he slashed the white steel, and the cold wind shattered. I'm not angry. At this time, the eldest son pointed to the withered birch tree demon. Why did these trees suddenly not move? Gao Peng then explained. They had been supplied by stone statues. The forces of darkness can continue the fight. When the source is gone, it will naturally be depleted. After explaining, he turned around and entered the temple abbot. You're out on standby. Everything else will come in with me. Just entered the temple. Gao Peng focused on the dragon snake with 2 eyes. It has been found not to be a disguise of a mutated monster. And in the very center of the yard, there is a large white sculpture. Rows of data pop up suddenly. Monster name, sculptor sculpture. Monster level, level 43, monster quality, normal quality. Monster attribute, dark. Seeing this, Gao Peng revealed the sound effect. The disguise is quite like Xiao Huang. Go chop him up. It's time to stack a few layers of passives for you. After 3 minutes, the sinner's sculpture transforms into a piece of debris. Gao Peng then handed the golden river in his body to Xiaohua. Florit is now level 36. Absorb this golden river. You should be able to try to break through to the Lord level. And discovered. The front has been completely eroded by the forces of darkness. Be sure that the target is in this darkness. Ask Turnsi to make a fireball for lighting. Then 1 person and 4 jade hands. Striding into the depths of darkness. At this time, Gao Peng suddenly stopped. Found floating in the air. There are some translucent white crystals floating. Let them lead in place. Rows and rows of data pop up randomly. Item name, Gold of the Dead Heart. A golden body that naturally condenses near the spirit of death. Gao Peng immediately asked Xiao Yin to raise the flames. As the fire grew brighter and louder, the dead heart Indian eye that exudes the power of darkness. Gao Peng then ordered Dumb, you go and take out the dead heart. Xiao Huang smashed a big hole for me. The voice fell. Dumb immediately took the death heart out of the stone's hand. And Gao Peng, the materials needed for purification are poured into the pit. Then he threw his 1,000-year-old heart to Dumb. Put the heart of death into the eye socket. Put a 1,000-year-old eagle heart in your chest. Dumb listened to it without a thread. Millie swimming. Place the materials separately in the orbit and chest. Hospitality room. Dumb erupted with a violent aura of death. A painful roar came from his mouth. Gao Peng is strong. Hurry up and cheer up and fast into this pool. You have to hold on. Accompanied by Dumb's whole body falling into the pool. A black pillar that penetrates the sky, and the earth goes straight to marketing. The roof of the temple of the Jiang Shengwang sect. Break through directly. After the smoke in the hall gradually dissipated. Adam's original pitch-black white bones. Now it's a dull gold. His eyes burned with blood-red flames of the dead. Successfully evolved into umatani bamboo. Rows and rows of data are refreshed in the tall eye. Monster name, Sea Valley Domination Monster Level 47 Episodes. Monster Quality Mythic Quality Monster Attribute Sun Deadness. Sinister Monster Ability, Death in the Valley of the Dead Level 5. Undead in Control. Level 4 Dark Eye controls Level 3 Soul Enhancement. Level 3 Monster Trait In Soul Star. He was the feared ruler of the valley. But his master wants him to go away from him. Just now, Dumb successfully evolves into the Lord of the Sea Valley. Rows of data are refreshed in Gao Peng's eyes. Monster level, level 47. Monster quality, mythic quality. Monster attributes, undead are In. Dangerous monster ability, Death In Valley level 5. Undead in control. Level 4 Dark Eye controls Level 3 Soul Enhancement. Level 3 Monster Trait In Soul Star. Advance to the Eternal Quality route. Soul Strength is insufficient. I can't watch Gao Peng, and there are some differences in this. There was actually a Level 5 ability. Currently not at the King level. Found on the following monsters. In other words, Dumb is no less than Wang Ji. If you count Wang Linjian's bonus, it's a double 5-level ability, plus able to permanently. The talent of longevity plus soul power. Dumb has endless possibilities. Although the strongest at the moment is still Wang Ji's Aben. But in terms of potential, Dumb in the soul of the creation must be super, over Aben. So Gao Peng bound the soul chain to Dumb. Test it out. Every monster that is killed, what percentage of soul power can be provided? In the genus of undead, kill monsters to provide soul power. Then he told Xiao Huang to go to Abin's side. Bring a captured dryad with you. A moment later, Xiao Huang carried a charred dryad over. Dum immediately summoned a leader-level Wang Ming. Lao Wang asked the old wolf to spew frost from his mouth between classes. Wipe out the last bit of life breath of the dryad. At the same time, it also froze Xiao Huang's head. A faint cloud of undead geese was absorbed by Dum. Then he turned to the sky and said, Master, if I absorb it myself, it's about 1/5. Absorbing by this undead will give me about 1 out of 10. He can also absorb the power of equal stream souls. Gao Penguin's eyes rang out. Dum's ability is not limited to Dum. And Xiao Huang questioned Dum in the back. Why did your little brother even play with me? You did it on purpose. After saying that, he kicked the Dum with a flying ladder to fight. Just as you're getting stronger. Otherwise, others will say that I bully my wife. And Gao Peng was thinking, the undead who were resurrected by Dum. It can also absorb a part of the soul power. Storm Ice Stream plus a growing nemesis. The quality of the myth is terrifying. Then he ordered Dum to be above level 40, including level 40 undead left. The rest is absorbed in its entirety. The voice fell. A fierce Knight of the Dead bursts out in the hands of Dum. More than 9 out of 9 undead suddenly tensed. Countless flames of the undead flew towards Dum. Dum's level instantly rises to level 50. It is only 1 step away from Wang Ji. Gao Peng's expression was serious when he saw this. The center of the earth is still developing. Not for Dum. The ability to snowball in kills. And the world of black fog is different. Countless bones are buried deep in the earth. As long as the level is high enough to convert them all into occupations. So he whispered to Adon and said, when we go back, and you take your pampas with you, the heads go to the black mist world to develop. Dum was a little disappointed when he heard this. Don't you want me? I saw Gao Peng lightly hammer his chest. How could I not want you? It's just that you're going to be very limited when you're around me. Your potential shouldn't be wasted on me. Dum listened. I got down on one knee. I understood. I would have been stronger as a host. So strong that no one can stop us from being together. A few days later, Gao Peng set off to Heilong City Airport, and Huang Ye came to send him supplies this time. Gao Peng casually asked if the family was okay lately. Huang Ye immediately replied that everything was fine. Both understand that the body is very good. Everything is fine at school. Teacher Guan also rescued several students a few days ago. Gao Peng smiled indifferently after hearing this. Yellow brought the blanket over. I saw Xiao Huang holding a bloody gold silk blanket in his hand. You've also bothered to do so during this time. This Spirit Master Jade Beast can be accepted if you like. Huang Ye was shocked when he saw this. He actually gave me another Spirit Master Jade Beast. Before he could answer, Gao Peng gently patted him on the shoulder. You should also pay more attention to the matter of going to the Black Fog world. Xiao Huang Dazi also helped me bring it back first. I'm going straight to the North Pole. With that, he turned and left. Huang Ye hurriedly bowed 90 degrees to see him off. Thank you, noble. Don't look at the girl's cute appearance. But his presale turned out to be Wang Ji Han being sure a knight. Just now, Gao Peng set off for the North Pole. Find the materials you need to advance as a technician. At this time, the power of ice was condensed in the hands of the technician. The floret immediately generates a blue barrier outside its body. Keep the cold out. Xiaohua hurriedly expressed her gratitude. The technician smiled indifferently. Then Gao Peng continued to walk forward for half an hour. Suddenly said to the technician, if the Arctic doesn't have what you need, materials, it can only be in Antarctica. The technician's words are so indifferent that he has a vague feeling. Let's go a little further northeast. So Gao Peng withstood the cold wind. Continue deeper to the northeast. The technician spoke suddenly, excitedly. The feeling is getting stronger. Persist and persist. At this time, Gao Peng looked up into the distance. There was a lean astringency on his face, and in front of it is a dark blue palace of frost. It is extremely beautiful against the backdrop of the aurora borealis. The technician immediately jumped off Gao Peng's shoulder. pointing to the palace and shouting excitedly. It was just ahead. Then Gao Peng came to the gate of the palace. I can't help but think about it. It's not like a palace that we can make. At this time, the palace gate slowly opened. A chill swept in. I saw a silver-white figure, standing impressively in front of the door. Rows and rows of data are immediately apparent. Monster name, Ice-Shurenite. Monster level 51. King level monster quality, Shure's quality. Monster trait, Frozen Blade. The knife shed saw this. The first level in my heart is actually a king level monster. Neither Adon nor Abin were around. Now the most powerful. It should be samurai grade white steel. And this is the home of the Ice-Shurenites. It seems that it